got 100 members of the local community, and I would like, and Luke's going to do a good count for me here, but I would like everybody who's in this meeting to put up their hand if they made a formal submission to VicForests in the last 2 years about any of their logging. Okay, can we get a count there? So we've got 42% of the audience, not including the kids, that made a formal submission. Now, if anybody feels that they had adequate stakeholder engagement and their concerns were listened to in the logging of this area and in the planning process, could you please put up your hand? So Ray, you're a local. Why are you here today?
Well, I don't like to see the forest clear felled the way they're doing it. They should individually log the timber, and I'm so ashamed that we're destroying our forests because they're just destroying all the tree ferns, the trees. They don't care what they're doing, and also they're it's all going to wood chipping. If it was going to furniture or wood to use to other things, it's fine. But I just don't. I'm not a greenie person. I'm just a local concerned person who doesn't like to see our forests treated the way they are, with losing animals and things that we are very endangered species.
And so you're actually a neighbour to some of VicForests operations, and you've tried to communicate with them about your concerns, and what's the response been, Ray?
Very little. There's been I've spoken to Greg. I've sent an email to Greg Hunt, and he said, "Oh, good luck with your campaign," and that's all. I've sent emails to numerous parliamentarians, and I really get hardly any response, if none at all. And
you had an excellent article in the Local. I think it was front page.
Yep.
Did anyone from VicForests contact you over those concerns?
No, nothing at all. No parliamentarians, no VicForests, nothing. It was quite a front page article.
And what were some of those concerns, Ray, around the logging near your place?
Well, just the clear felling.
Yep.
It's not the way to treat our forests.
Was it occurring at night and all through the night?
Occurring 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Apparently up here they're supposedly 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. But I'll see it. I'll believe it when I see it.
In July, grandmothers protested in Talangi, and a group of them chained themselves to logging equipment in a desperate attempt to try to get VicForests to come to the table to talk about the concerns that the local community had.
Habitat knocks down absolutely incredible trees that are part of our life and our ecosystem, and I want it to stop.
Okay, I live in Talangi, and I can constantly from my garden see the destruction of the forest around me, and I've been overseas looking at what other people do and how well they look after their environment and how badly we treat this beautiful place. My father lay in the trenches fighting for Australia in the ice and snow, and I think it's the least I can do is to fight to protect my environment within this country. And I also have 4 grandchildren, and I want them to enjoy this space and have a beautiful place to live in as well.
And the creatures of snow.
The Age reported tree-pronged attack as Abbott throws down the gauntlet on logging, again in June. And protesters in Talangi were again out in force, protesting about the logging of the local environment and the impact on tourism. Abbott's comments came as 31 people were arrested for blocking clearfell logging on the side of Mount St Leonard near Healesville. About 70 local business owners and conservationists walked into a logging coupe early yesterday. And again, these people were not contacted by SAI Global.
We complained to JASANZ about SAI Global's stakeholder engagement process, and after an investigation by JASANZ, we received a letter from Duncan Lilly, the Global Head of Assurance Services from SAI Global, stating the following. Forestry Management Standard and accompanying JASANZ procedures require us to meet with stakeholders as part of the audit process, and I realise that this will involve further consultation with you during the next audit of VicForests. After continued willful non-participation by SAI Global, we wrote the following letter to Duncan Lilly. The undersigned not-for-profit environmental non-government organisations representing over 100,000 Australians believe that the accountability for this pending extinction of Leadbeater's possum, together with other biodiversity and ecosystem collapse, rests with SAI Global, who continues to issue AFS certificates without major corrective actions, thus allowing VicForests to continue their practices whilst making claims of sustainability. Signatories to the letter include the Australian Conservation Foundation, Friends of the Earth, My Environment, Australian Forest and Climate Alliance, Environment East Gippsland, C4 Healesville, the Wilderness Society, Lawyers for Forests, Warburton Environment, Healesville Environment Watch, The Last Stand, Central Highlands Action Group, and Friends of the Leadbeater's Possum.
The letter goes on to say, given the overwhelming evidence of illegal logging, major non-compliances and lack of data supporting sustainability, the following organisations request that SAI Global remove the AFS certificate from VicForests before the end of March 2012. If SAI Global continues to audit VicForests against the AFS standard, the undersigned also requests that major corrective actions be raised where VicForests is not meeting the AFS standard. During the recent recertification audit of VicForests by SAI Global, we were not involved in the audit as suggested we would be by Duncan Lilly. The stakeholders from the meeting were not contacted, the neighbour with his concerns were not contacted, and more importantly, none of the dozen ENGOs who had written formal complaints to SAI Global were contacted. However, under the AFS certification, SAI Global found there is a strong working relationship with many stakeholders, and particularly with affected neighbours and other users of the forest.
If we go to VicForests' website and select the Harvesting tab and then scroll down to Certification, you can see the PFC and the Australian Forestry Standard advertised there, and clicking on the attachments link, we can see their old certificate still being displayed. It's expired on the 8th of February 2013, and that's got SAI Global's logo, and they're endorsed by JASANZ as credible auditors for the AFS.